Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, and today I am drawing the legendary Pokemon, Volcanion. A user from Pokemon Amino had actually asked me to draw this. I think it was in December. They'd asked me, but I had actually put this on the back burner because I had other projects I had in mind, and well, finally I am doing it, and I am really happy that I did it because this is the first time that I decided to actually add a background in with my subject. Now there's a lot of good that happened with this drawing and also a lot of bad. And a couple of things I'm going to go ahead and point out that I liked are the pose. I like how dynamic I made Volcanion, even though of course this is based on a reference image, which is down below as usual. And I just really like how actiony it looks. I think this was taken out of one of the movies. So I decided to do this pose, and it was a very challenging pose because Volcanion is positioned somewhat off the horizon line there. So it is at a slant, and trying to measure how that looks on paper was a little bit difficult, but I am pretty happy with how it turned out. I think some of the measuring could have been a little bit more accurate, but overall pretty happy with how that turned out. One of the things I had major trouble with was measuring Volcanion's face, specifically its eyes. I don't know if it's because the eye shape is a little weird compared to what I'm used to drawing, but it was definitely a challenge trying to get those accurate. They're pretty much just half moon shapes, but there's a little bit of weight to one of the edges. I don't really know if that makes sense, but if you look at it, it's not quite a semicircle. It's a little bit off from a semicircle, if that makes sense. Now, I don't know if Volcanion came out in the games yet. And when I say that, I mean if it was like a downloadable thing or anything. So I did know that it was a water fire type, which is extremely different. Obviously, there hasn't been one like that in the game. And I didn't realize that that hoop that's over its body is like these arm cannon things. So that was interesting when I Googled it. So, you know, you learn something new every day. I am not quite up to date with my Pokemon stuff as I should be, but I'm learning. Now, if you'll click on the reference image, you'll notice that the background in that image is of what appears to be some sort of a brick kind of building, and I didn't want to get that crazy, especially since this is the first time I've added a background to one of my drawings. I'm not really used to doing background images, so this is kind of new for me. Even when I used to draw as a child, I tended to not draw backgrounds. I think there was maybe one picture, and I'll have to put it up in a video of of some of my older drawings, but I think it was a Digimon drawing, so that I tried to draw like the digital world. So that was probably one of the first and possibly last times I did kind of a full drawing. And I just kind of wanted to get back into it. And now I'm not extremely happy with how it turned out, obviously, because it's kind of been a while. But I did try to do like a cloud type of thing, and I tried to do dirt, and not really happy with the dirt. The clouds are kind of okay. I really would like to try them again, maybe as like a standalone image in my sketchbook maybe. So I'll try to do that. As far as the ground, I think if I would have maybe added more texture instead of having a very kind of flat tone underneath Volcanion, it would have looked a lot better. Also, I based the rubble on Volcanion's right side, our left. If I would have done that, I probably would have liked it more. I didn't really measure it very well. What am I talking about? I'm sick right now, so I can't really think straight. I am so sorry. But I based the rubble from the image and the reference. That is what I tried to say. So I tried to like shade rock looking things, but they kind of look just like worms or something. So yeah, that's something I'm going to want to work on too, is maybe making more of a realistic dirt texture with watercolor. So another thing for my sketchbook. As far as color matching for Volcanion, I thought I did a pretty good job. The only thing I could kind of complain about is the reds. For whatever reason, red does not like to blend very well for me, and there's a lot of things that don't like to blend very well for me. And red just happens to be one of those colors that likes to pool, it likes to lay, it likes to mingle, and even though I felt like a lot of the shading was done really well, but I feel like maybe I need to work on, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I need to work on, guys. In the reference image, it has Volcanion. What I'm assuming is it's powering up. So the blue lights on its cannons are glowing, and I was trying to figure out some way that I could emulate that effect with watercolor, but I couldn't really find anything that I liked because watercolors dry very matte. There is almost no shine to them, and a lot of the times when you see that kind of glowy effect, at least on digital drawings, it's a, I believe it's a tool that's used in Photoshop. You can emulate it with certain media. I do not know how to do it, but I would like to learn, but I couldn't really find anything that I wanted to use. So what I had lying around was a blue highlighter, and it happened to be dry. So I was dipping it in water to just kind of wet it a little bit, and then I was dabbing it very carefully on the paper. And it kind of got me that bright blue color that I was looking for, but you know, it's something. I tried. Overall, if I was going to redo this drawing at any point in time, I would take measures to measure everything as accurately as I can. I always say this, but it is so important, especially when you want to do like still lifes and things, which eventually I will probably do a still life, but it is very, 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 very important to measure as accurately as you can. It's very good practice, but it's also very good when it comes to your art. It's very good when you're an artist and you're trying to improve. It's very good to just have like that very observant eye. And, you know, overall I just would like to maybe improve on the coloring a little bit, especially with some of the accuracy of the colors. I mean, I got it for the most part correctly. One of the things I did want to point out was that Volcanion is a cool red color. It's more of a blue red instead of more of an orange red. And I knew about, like, you know, this all has to do with like color theory, and that's a topic for another day. But when looking for the correct blue, I was trying to pick out something that was either very neutral or more in the blue tone side. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's purple. That's completely something separate too. So anyway, yes, blue-red for Volcanion. Overall, really enjoyed doing Volcanion, even though I do believe this was like an entire afternoon's worth of work. I don't know if it's because that the layers were just taking so long to dry or if I was tired. I think I did this on a Saturday night. It was definitely a Saturday. And it was very tiring because I was going back and forth between cleaning and doing this. And it was really getting to me. And, I don't know. I'm sure eventually I'll do something like this again. If you saw Wigglytuff last week, that was actually really enjoyable to do. I actually really like to do, you know, as I've said before, monochromatic Pokemon. They're just really relaxing to do because there's not a whole lot going on with them. And Wigglytuff was like, you know, the nice end to my Friday night. And then I came in and did this, so, yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and go ahead and leave your likes down below. I totally appreciate it. And if you have anything you'd like to try to challenge me with, I know Shane is really good at giving me things to draw, but maybe he'll surprise me. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again later, and have an awesome day.